Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to day 4 here at the 2015 Twin Cities Film Fest. We're on the Go 96.3 sponsored red carpet. I'm one of your hosts, Doug Sidney. We are lucky enough to be joined by Jesse Tindler, Evan Weinstein. Thank you so much for being here. You're both from out of town. You two are first and foremost actors. And so what was behind this was creating work for yourselves to work on as actors. And what it ended up being was a project that you took on other roles doing. So, Evan, you're our lead actor in the film. Jesse, you make a cameo appearance, which is great. Talk to us about tackling those two roles. You as a director and the 4, 6, 8 different production roles that you had in addition to your cameo. Talk to us about that.
I think a wonderful part about this process was that everybody was helping out, wearing different hats. So it wasn't like, when I was in a scene, I had people to kind of guide me. And it was difficult because you're, directing, and there were times we'd lose a location and I would have to rewrite the scene that night to fit like the next location in the day. And things like that, it's like there's no one that's gonna, help you. Like you have to get that done, and we got it done.
Filmed the whole thing in New York City. We did like a day or two in Atlantic City in New Jersey. The majority of it was shot in Brooklyn, and in New York City, locations is the single most difficult thing for indie filmmaking because you don't have much of a budget, and you have to get all these locations and figure out company moves and all that. It's definitely the most challenging.
So I'm Ben Lifson. I was the original creator and showrunner of Super Academy and one of the writers.
I'm Jacob Gelver. I was co-writer, co-director on Super Academy, and co-writer and director on Fang and Talon as well.
And Kyle.
And I'm Kyle Decker. I was the executive producer on both Fang and Talon and Super Academy, and one of the co-writers on both projects as well, and I'm one of the stars of Fang and Talon.
I did not know that.
Yes.
You worked as well. Can't wait to see you in front of the camera also.
I was a classic gamer in the 80s. I grew up around the arcade scene, and we just kind of discovered this game in our break room, and we wanted to find out. I wanted to find out how to beat my coworker of mine, and I looked online. I saw this ridiculous poster about a guy that got 1 billion points on it in 1984, and we just wanted to find out, what he was up to now, and we interviewed him and decided he wanted to go for it again because he found out someone else beat his record.
Now let's talk about production. Turning in your work on this film in some pretty heavy conditions, let's say, water, cold, a Minnesota winter. Talk to us about that.
Well, we spent a fair amount of time out on the ice. Green Lake, I think it was called, up near Lindstrom Center City, Chisago. They had a heated fish house out there. Where we
Thank goodness it was heated.
Yes, where you could run in and kind of warm up. But some of the time the old guys, the 4 old guys, were running around in terry cloth robes and hats, swimming trunks, and boots, running through the snow. So it was a challenge.
One of my funny stories about it is we had, doing multiple takes on a line where the lines were really important for my character at that point in the story. And it was multiple takes, and it was freezing cold. And by like the 3rd take, I was doing everything I could to get my lips to move, and every trick I knew as an actor to get my mouth limber so I could get the lines out. It was pretty cold.
It's a couple of really young guys making a feature film about some old guys, and that's from Bill and John, the interview that we just had. This is our feature Polar Bear Club interview. They were astounded when they saw the film in Nashville for the first time at how the cinematography of it was just incredible. Yeah. And you were battling some pretty incredible elements. Water, winter, and old guys as well.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Well, we had Spencer Goodall, our cinematographer. Okay. Obviously, is a super talented guy and shot our film and really, really did a wonderful job with it. But a lot of it was just the season and the area and just finding the right timing, waiting for snow, waiting for the light, taking our time and working with it. And he did a wonderful job, and we couldn't be happier with it.
We randomly but wonderfully came upon a group of 5 filmgoers, 3 of which have joined us here on our red carpet, who traveled here to the Twin Cities Film Fest from quite far away for a very specific reason, to see a very specific film and we had to talk to them. This is what film festivals, and especially the Twin Cities Film Fest, is all about. So I want you to introduce yourselves to our audience, and I'm just gonna go right down the line here.
I'm Lizzie Tesh. I'm Ashley Huckstep. And I'm Katie Traeger.
You have gone horror for this one.
Full horror. We went full horror for this one, so it's a bit of a departure, but it's the same good story, good strong female characters, like the work I like to do. So I think just for me, it's just creating fully formed roles for females. So I think smart, intelligent women are interesting to me, and then they're plentiful in the world. We just need to see more of them in film. So having really talented actors that you can trust and strong female characters is something I believe in and want to continue.
Let's just say Nora is a roller coaster. There's really no predicting what she'll do. So I had to be willing to push that envelope in myself. So basically dig up all of the dirt and all the demons,
okay,
and make those accessible so I could access this emotionally damaged yet beautifully vulnerable girl.
What was it like having all of those pieces come together as a directing team, and Justin with you producing as well?
I think what we wanted to do was basically we wanted to take like a realistic approach at like a relationship. We've all been through those relationships where like, you know, we've fallen in love, we've broken up, we've been heart-struck, and we lingered on for that one relationship that just got away. And we definitely just wanted to make something that like we could all watch and relate to and just feel like honest and brutal, but not be kind of overblown or overrun in that sense of like production-wise. So it's mostly just these two people and how over one weekend the relationships kind of brought together and then tested and ultimately, I guess, like reborn.